So what was your engineering in?
Computer science.
And how come Ford Motors? Is it not an automobile engineering thing?
I was reading through the basics of finance, how capital works,
How does capital work?
Can you tell me about how the consumer behavior works in India and in Vietnam?
Okay.
Okay, before that, what is consumer behavior? How do you car a car in terms of business terms? So you told your creative ability would be nurtured and you will be getting more towards that if you are in marketing. Sell us that water bottle.
So what is the product? I still don't understand what credit does.
Credit helps you pay credit card bills on time, which can help you with the unwanted for people.
And one final question, tell me a reason why I should reject you.
You visibly kept your wits with you. Cool. You were smiling, you were in command, your body language is fine. A lot of your answers were leading us to ask you deeper and deeper questions. Think about something where you know tons about that brand, but probably they don't. There's one place where you reacted wonderfully well, where he said, why should we reject you? Starting point was a big smile. I have sat on the other side, it's incredibly stressful. I had a kind of record in my campus in IIM Bangalore. I messed up the maximum number of interviews before I got a job. Hi Kishore, good morning.
Hi sir.
Good to have you here. Just tell us something about yourself. What do you do?
I have completed my computer science engineering from IIT Engineering College, and after completion of my degree, I have been working in Ford Motor Company as an SAP consultant.
So what was your engineering in?
Computer science.
And how come Ford Motors? Is it not an automobile engineering thing?
It was an automobile company, but the way that they have recruited students was for a new platform that they are developing called as Ford Pro, which mostly focuses on the data platforms.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So after completion, I was completely shocked when I was put into a core operations team.
Okay.
And well, I was it was right time, right moment for me, because when I was going there, I was placed in an application which was a legacy application.
Okay.
So it has been there for the last 30 years. But when I was going there, Oracle decided not to support our application.
Okay.
So we were on the migration stage to SAP.
Okay.
So it was a fully enhancing experience for me.
Oracle's legacy is an app or the database side?
A database.
So this system works with Oracle database and SAP apps, is it?
No sir, it used to work as an Oracle database, and the platform was completely built using Pro-C, which was an old language.
Okay, okay.
So we have completely revamped the application, and now we are...
No, you kicked out Oracle from database also?
Yes sir. It's now
So
SAP.
what is the database you work with? SAP, and what data is stored where?
SAP HANA sir.
Okay, and this is on cloud or on device?
Cloud.
Completely cloud.
Completely.
So even for Ford, the entire ERP system is cloud based.
Yes sir.
So all the privacy issues with cloud storage are sorted.
That is sorted.
There's no risk to data theft at all when you go to the cloud. Okay. So what part of SAP do you work in?
Sales and distribution.
Okay. The SAP, you write code or you just take care of maintenance and language?
I work as a functional consultant.
Okay. What does that mean?
So we have the existing application. So there are several functionalities. Since it doesn't have a standard framework. For example, for Vietnam market, if they want to sell a product, they would have had the price as 0, but they would be saying that I want to invoice this product, I want to give it to a customer. We were able to make the changes using the code, but in SAP some things are a little difficult. So we have to check the feasibility and we have to add new functionality.
Okay. So which markets were you catering to?
Mostly we are doing it in IMG region, sir.
Which is? What is IMG?
IMG is Asia Pacific.
Okay.
Including
Okay. Ford has completely stopped manufacturing in India.
Yes, sir.
But does Ford still import and sell in India?
No, sir, that's not happening.
So they don't sell any cars in India?
No, sir.
So the entire Ford Chennai operations is just back-end support for other markets.
Yes.
Why did Ford exit India?
It
was a growing car market. Why did they exit Indian market?
They weren't able to make sense of how they would be able to sell the vehicles. The range of vehicles that they were catering at that time was a different segment. I feel like they would have made sense now.
Okay. No, but they had Ford Focus, Ford Icon. Ford Icon was practically uniquely Indian, right?
Yes, sir.
And Ford Endeavour.
Yes, sir.
Icon and Endeavour were reasonably big brands.
Yes, sir.
Why did they find the need to exit a market where now they had dealers and distribution and all of that, right?
They found the profitability to be more in US and other regions.
Okay, why?
And in the IIMG region, the Asia Pacific, they found Thailand to be the most profitable region of all.
Okay, no, but that's fine. But be that as it may, India market on automobiles is probably going to be 8x, 10x Thailand or no?
But the leadership wasn't able to put the risks. They weren't able to take this.
Okay. Super.
However, there are plans to
Come back.
the market.
Now they've stopped everything. The dealers won't come back, no? Because you've already exited once.
Yes, sir. There are still dealers, sir. We do have the PDC operations, the Parts and Distribution Center operations in India. So it's still going on.
Is there a plan to come back now reasonably quickly or no?
It is still in process. Last year we had plans to sell the plant which is in India, but however the information broke out and we completely stopped.
Okay. Who would buy plant?
Jindal was planning to buy it.
To do what? They're also getting into car manufacturing or something?
That was not disclosed, but it was Jindal.
Okay. Super. What do you want to specialize in your MBA?
I want to lean towards marketing or finance.
Okay. Why?
The reason is that I felt that marketing is something which takes out the creative ability in me.
Okay.
Well, whatever I've been doing till date and work as mainly towards the operation side.
Okay.
I have had the opportunity to work with the international. It really exposed me to the international culture. While there, I had an assignment. I was working with the marketing team of Ford Vietnam Limited. So they were able to tell me that they had an urgent requirement which they had to deploy in the next few days. It was critical. Well, I was trying to understand the reason why they are willing to give out parts for a discounted price. They were able to show me the entire set of reasons that they had why they are trying to do this and what kind of promotional programs that they were going through to promote dealers to buy parts. That really captivated me into thinking that there is something that I can learn about this field. And as far as finance is concerned, during COVID, like every other person, I had a lot of time to rethink and read a lot of things. And I did stumble upon stock market during that time, and I was reading through the basic set of finance, how capital works,
how does capital work?
So I thought about how a company gets debt, how it goes through the capital expansion process, and how a company prospers.
Okay, how does it happen?
The entire cycle.
Yeah.
Let's say we have a company. So whenever a company is willing to take a debt or going towards the capex side, and they feel that there is room for growth, there is a lot of growth, and company believes that there is an aspect to grow higher.
Okay. So what happens?
Sorry.
So what happens after that?
When company grows, it is good for the country.
Okay. But you said when company grows, they prosper and something else happens.
The shareholders benefit as well as the employees who are working there.
Okay. So what is making you drawn to finance because of this?
Drawn to finance. I've been following two particular segments of finance, that is the investing side of the finance, such as the private equity and the venture capital field. The idea of one going from 0 to 1 has really captivated me.
Okay.
And I feel like having to go through the structured framework that is being provided in the MBA, it will give me a set of the structured knowledge that I will require.
What is 0 to 1?
So an idea which we have is 0, but making it work is 1. The execution that we put.
Okay.
Converting the idea into an actual product for a company.
Okay.
That is the 1.
Okay.
And from 1 to 10, it's the stage of growing
Okay. So you're drawn to private equity and venture capital.
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice. Have they had a good time in India? Have private equity companies or venture capitalists done well in India?
Venture capital has done well in India. Like we have seen the Sequoia India like completely getting out of the global firms.
Okay.
And they have also earned multiple returns.
Okay.
And
So which companies have come in India based on venture capitalists or private equity?
In India, I've read about Bloom Ventures.
Okay. No, I'm not talking about the venture capital firms.
Okay.
The companies that have used venture capital money, which are the ones that have done well?
Okay, the startups which
Yeah.
have used. There are several companies such as Ola, and we have. I'm sorry, I'm completely blank. But yeah, there are companies like there are new age startups which is like
Byju's and Oyo.
Byju's and Oyo and Academy. Like if we take on a sector, like we can see multiple competitors who have like raised money.
Correct. Are they good examples? Byju's raised $6 billion and now worth zero.
But there are also good examples like Zomato who have been able to capitalize the money.
Okay. Is Zomato doing well? Have they done well for their based on their investment?
The last quarter was not so good. Like,
Okay.
But they are like pivoting towards like having the Blinkit as their main source of.
Okay. So it's good.
Currently, it's good.
Okay. What do you do in your free time, Kishore?
I solved Rubik's Cube, sir.
Okay.
I solved it under 10 seconds.
Okay.
And apart from that, I play badminton, which I started as a way to lose weight.
Okay.
I lose 30 kgs so far.
30.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to imagine how you were before that. So you had a weight problem at some point of time?
I've been obese throughout my life.
Okay.
And it was during.
How long did it take for you to lose this 30 kilos? Is spectacular.
Yes. It took me around 6 months.
That's serious crash of weight. Okay. How did you notice? What is your routine?
So losing 5 kgs was easy for me, but losing the next 5 kgs was difficult for me. So what I had to do was I had to add something different to my plans.
Okay.
For example, the first 5 kgs I lose completely using my diet methods, which I follow is intermittent fasting.
Okay.
16:8. And after that, I added a little bit of exercise into that routine. So before having my first meal, I used to like work out and exercise. And again, I had struggled trying to lose weight, so I again tried to play badminton at night. And there were several other things.
Okay. But 30.
Yes, sir.
In 6 months.
Yes, sir.
It's spectacular, but I'm also worried. Is there no risk to losing weight this quickly?
There are some studies which show that if you lose weight that quickly, there is a probability that you will again gain that weight. But it has been 2 years since I've lost that weight, and
you held on to your life. Okay. So what did you do? You have said first 5, second 5, and then what did you do after that? First 5 kilograms you did only diet.
Yes, sir.
Next 5 you did diet and exercise. And then there's 20 more kilos to go.
Yes, sir.
What did you do?
After that, I started a thing called HIIT, that is high intensity training. So it really paved the way for the next 5 kgs. And then there was something which I tried during the morning time. So I tried to change my diet plans. So instead of having an IF of 16:8, I started eating regularly, but I completely reduced sugar. So I had like no sugar in my diet. While doing the IF, I didn't like mind about the how much I was eating or what I was eating. It was just the IF. But I started getting more into the macro details of the food that I was eating.
Okay.
So
that was a journey for next. Have you stuck onto your diet now also?
No, sir.
Okay.
The work thing, I'm completely off the chart.
Okay. So are you not playing, working out, any of that?
I'm playing, sir.
Okay. But the diet is you're not worried about that.
Yes,
But your weight is fine and your health is fine.
yes.
That's nice. Super. Thank you, sir.
Hi, Kishore.
Yes, sir.
So you told you had a trip to Vietnam,
Yes, sir.
and you're also kind of interested in marketing.
Yes.
Can you tell me about how the consumer behavior works in India and in Vietnam?
Okay. I've seen.
Okay, before that, what is consumer behavior?
How the consumers get attracted to a product or how they.
I don't want from the words. Tell me the proper. Okay, forget it. Tell me about the broad aspect of Vietnam market and Indian market.
I've seen Vietnam, like Our PDC is somewhere in the province.
What is PDC?
Parts Distribution Center.
Isn't it product development cycle?
That is a different term. Well, in
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
PDC. So our PDC is in a province. While I was allotted a hotel which was in city. So I used to start at 6 a.m. I used to see that people would like work out at 6 in the morning, irrespective of the age. I've seen like all the age people. It really shows that how interested they are in maintaining their weight, how interested they are in maintaining their health and other things. And I've also seen how Vietnam has the cafe culture, which is like really missing in India. Like I've seen people who are like willing to go and spend, even though like I have my warehouse colleagues as well, like whom I have like met in Vietnam. They are willing to spend for food. They are willing to spend for the afternoon parties and all this stuff. Well, I feel like working in India, I wasn't able to see this behavior people in India.
It's a bad thing or a good thing?
It depends on our situation.
Okay. Fine. So, how do you call a car in terms of business terms? If you are going to export a car or import a car kind of thing, we don't usually call it as a car. So, how is it called as?
Sorry, sir.
I'll give you a clue. It's called as CBU.
It's completely built unit.
Yes.
Yeah.
CBU.
I wasn't able to like grasp the.
That's fine. So you told your creative ability would be nurtured, and you will be getting more towards that if you are in marketing. Sell us that water bottle. Take a couple of minutes, think over it, and then try to sell it.
So I think there are two ways.
So you're starting, right?
No, sir. I'm just giving an explanation. There are two ways which I can make sense of, like given this sudden situation that you're giving me. One is the supply demand. One is I'll get that water bottle from you and sell it to you. The other thing is adding a unique aspect to the water. So what can be added to the water?
Okay, fine. Leave it. No props. So can you?
This was an amazing question. I'm still trying to grasp like how to sell. Like what are the unique features that I can get out?
That's all right. Leave it. No props. Can you talk something about 4 P's of marketing?
Yes, sir. The 4 P's of marketing are price.
I want it in the exact order. There is an order for 4 P's. And I'll get offended if it is in marketing. If you answer something, go for it.
Okay.
Or go in your order, no problem. You told price, the next 3?
Price, position,
Okay.
promotion,
Okay.
people,
Okay. 2 rights?
2 wrong.
Yes. Fair enough. Have you heard about the term 4 C's?
4 C's.
No. Fine. That's not a problem. So tell me, if you are going to be into marketing, which is the area you want to be more specialized in? There are lots of areas in marketing like advertising, branding, consumer behavior, etc., etc., etc. Which area you might want to focus a bit extra?
I feel like I can add some depth to the branding. Like always, the concept of building a brand has like really captivated me. I think I can give an example of cred.
Go ahead.
There is this example of cred. Like even though cred are not profitable right now, I think while you're using cred as an UPI app and you're using other UPI app, you can really distinguish between cred and GPay or the other payment thing.
Why? How?
The design that they have is like so unique that it really captivates.
Okay. The UI.
UI.
What about the UI? What is special about cred that I pay using GPay. That's completely fine. What is special about credit that GPay can't do?
Credit offers something called as credit coins.
Okay.
So I don't think that is available in GPay.
What can you do with credit coins?
There have been several contests that Kunal has been using the credit coins.
Okay.
Like that is being done. So far, that is the thing that I've heard of.
Okay. So with credit coins, can you buy products?
You won't be able to buy products exactly. They have been accumulating credit coins. The users who has been using it has been accumulating it. But there are several promotional offers which should be like happening once in 2 months.
Okay, so you can use your credit coins to get discounts on products and stuff? Or as a proxy for money?
It cannot be said as a proxy for money.
Okay, because, so what is the use? What does credit coin offer me? Suppose I say I have 100 credit coins. You have been using credit for 4 months. What can I do with these 100 credit coins?
It offers you a chance at the discount.
At discount. So if I can, so I buy products using credit coins or no?
You cannot exactly buy, but it will offer you a chance at having it.
What do you mean by that? So suppose there is a phone that is available at 7,000 and I have 100 credit coins. How can I use it?
I'm not really sure.
Okay. Do you have credit as an app?
I haven't used it.
Okay. So what has drawn you towards why are you saying credit has a good brand? How have they built their brand?
Their design really captivated me. So they have had different products, but what distinguishes them from the other platforms is their design.
Okay. That means the UI, the way it is.
The UI and the way they even position their brand as they cater to a different segment, and they have their...
What segment do they cater to?
They cater to the India one. So...
India one?
There was a term which was framed by Kishore Kumar.
Okay.
So India was categorized into India 1, India 2 and India 3.
Okay.
So the India 1 is the upper middle class to the rich people.
Okay.
And India 2 is the middle class people who can afford few products. And India 3 is
the masses.
Yes.
Okay, but so credit caters to India 1.
India 1.
Well off people.
Yes.
Okay, and so how do they cater to that? How are they positioned to India 1 better than the GPay or a PhonePe?
So they have been clear with their idea of wanting to cater to India 1, and they have made it clear using their advertisements that they have posted so far.
Okay.
So when I don't remember the year in which IPL that they had posted, but Cred just posted an advertisement. They had no info about the product. They just wanted people to be curious about what the product is.
Okay. And
that idea fascinated me about people getting curious about what this product is, what it can be.
Okay.
So
what is the product? I still don't understand what Cred does.
Okay. So Cred helps you pay credit card bills on time, which can help you with the unwanted. For the Gen Zs these days that are using multiple.
How does Cred help me pay my credit card bill on time?
It can give you a notification before the date.
As what? As an app or an email or SMS or WhatsApp?
Through the app, you will be having a feature.
I can get it via SMS as well as email. Every day my credit card bill comes through that. So why should I need an app to maintain that?
I have a HSBC credit card. If I have HSBC app will give me notification. If I don't want the app, I'll get a notification by email and by SMS. If I want it, by WhatsApp.
While this is also being done, however, the interest rate that are being put on the loans, the credit card bills which we aren't paying, has not been so transparent. They are trying to make it more transparent.
Who? Cred. How will Cred make my interest rate with HSBC more transparent?
They are trying to help you pay on time, and they will be able to let you know how these things are being done. So the interest rate on credit card bills are so high.
Okay.
So people are kind of baffled when I think there was a recent news on a thing where a mere sum of 2,000 rupees transferred into 84,000 something, which was in a span of 10 years.
Okay.
So in order to avoid these kind of dire situations,
We should have credit.
we should have credit for people with multiple credit cards.
Okay. How will credit know
So
that I have a 2,000 rupee loan outstanding or credit card bill outstanding from 10 years ago?
I think credit will take the current credit cards data.
Okay.
So once you'll be like logging into credit, you will be able to register your credit cards.
Okay. So how will they know all my expenses? Suppose I use my credit card and buy a bottle of water, and then use my credit card to have coffee and fill fuel. How will credit know how I've spent money?
Credit doesn't know how we are spending.
Okay. So how will credit know that I have to repay my bill?
Repay the credit card bill. So once it is registered, credit will have the information from the external system. So like
What is the external system? HSBC won't share data to credit. Why will they? I will be wild if my credit card is sharing with some random app, right? I have my credit card. If my credit card company shares my expenditure data or my bill data with an app, I'll be wild. I don't want them to share. So how will credit know information about amount outstanding or payment or whatever? How will credit come to? They have to help me. So they need data. How will they get the data?
I thought external providers are the only way, but since you have mentioned that
They won't. They can't, right?
data
Imagine you
cannot
have a
be
credit
shared.
card and your credit card provider shares the data with credit. And they can share with Google Pay, GPay, Finance Ministry, DigiCard, anyone.
Mhm.
They shouldn't, right?
Okay.
They can't share your credit card data with anybody else. So how will I don't understand credit's business at all, but I'm baffled at how they're in business and they're making. I mean, they're not making money. They're threatening to make money. They're threatening to be profitable. So I don't understand their numbers at all. I don't understand their business. I don't understand. You know how they? What is their business model? How do they make money?
So far what they have built is a user base. So with the user base, they are trying to launch some products. And
What products?
Like recently, they did a launch for a garage-based product,
Okay.
and there are also many ideas. Like their first plan was to capture the users, capture the Indian users, which I think they have did. However, I'm not sure about the other plans, but they are planning to have
All of these guys, Paytm or PhonePe or Google, their biggest product is to launch a loan product. Do you think India One will borrow? Your India One audience is not really a borrowing audience, right? So there's no natural loan product for India One. For India 3, maybe yes. But Cred doesn't want India 3. Cred wants only India One. So what will they sell to this group? To make money. What is the potential business model for them? Where can they make money?
catering to India One, using the payment system. I think all the payment system have been focused on like giving out loans was the way of making money.
Correct.
But since credit is especially catering to India One,
Correct.
they are not like they do have the loans division and that is doing good as well. But there are being products that are rolled out on places.
Okay.
And
But you don't know what these products are.
I don't.
Okay. Nice. So, but you said you were interested in stock markets.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, how do you invest in stock market?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How will you find a good stock to invest in?
So I first go sector wise. So I believe that sectors are cyclical in nature. So when I feel like a sector has plans is on the growth stage, I would see whether they are like accumulating. So one way of how I would like see that stocks are getting accumulated is I will use the volume.
Okay.
So when the volume is very high, I would know that certain stocks are being accumulated.
By whom? Who is accumulating them?
By the big institutions, by
Okay.
the domestic.
You told sector is cyclical in nature. Can you explain a couple of sector and in which cycle it grows and in which cycle it comes low?
Okay. For example, real estate sector is cyclical in nature. So when the interest rates are pretty low, the rate at which people will be able to borrow money is high, and there have been instances when
When interest rates are low, the rate at which they'll borrow will be high, is it?
the way by which people will be able to borrow is high. People will be able to borrow more.
Okay.
And there will be room for more capex.
But I don't see it as a cycle. It sometimes happens, it sometimes doesn't happen. But when we say a cycle, it has to be a pattern that is attached to it, or something like that. Say something apart from real estates.
Paints, Asian paints, and other things depend on the price of the petrol.
Okay. Why does it depend on the price of petrol?
Prices of oil.
Okay. Why?
So they do need it as a raw material to be manufactured.
How much percentage is needed as raw material for paints?
I'm not aware of
Because if the paints price are going so down, that means there has to be a considerable proportion that is needed. So that's the reason I asked. Fine. So can you, you told you can solve a Rubik cubes in 10 seconds, less than 10 seconds maybe. So can you explain, do you use any kind of algorithm, or how does it work?
Yes, sir. So first, let's take a 3x3 Rubik's cube. So first I would build the cross using a single color. So cross is the middle blocks that we have in the Rubik's cube. We aren't solving any other corner. So we would be aligning the centers with the adjacent color of path. So if I'm taking white as the base with which I'm solving, I wouldn't consider yellow. Yellow is the complete opposite side. So corresponding to all the other edges, I will be solving only the centers. So cross is the 4 pieces that have been aligned. And after that, there is a thing called as F12. So first 2 layers. So for the 4 corners, that is, I have solved the white cross. I should be solving the white as a color, whole color. So there are some.
No, I don't want the method. I'm not asking the method. I'm asking, is there any kind of algorithm you use, or is only a method or a pattern? That's what I'm asking you.
It's a combination of method and.
Because why I'm asking you is, you are a computer science student, and writing an algorithm should be innately coming to you. So was that by any chance, it was helpful or not?
Yes, sir. Algorithm requires you to memorize it. However, there are certain algorithms which I have tried to formulate on my own. So
okay, can you explain the sales process of SAP SD? Sales process.
Okay. So the first process comes through in our system we have the quotation orders. So once the quotation is created and quotation is we have the approval system, putting that aside. Once the quotation is
I just want the steps. I don't want explanation.
Quotation, sale order, delivery, invoice, and claims.
What is claims?
Claims is in our business when we have supplied faulty parts, or if a dealer has made an error of placing a wrong order, or Ford has sent some additional parts, or Ford has sent some wrong color.
So how can it happen first? How can some extra material which hasn't been, I haven't ordered, can be sent?
Sorry.
For example, I am ordering for this pen, but you guys are sending me some other part along with it. So I haven't ordered anything else apart from this. So how can you send something extra from that?
I used to think when we were designing the claims workflow process, but once when I went to the warehouse in Vietnam, we had a really different kind of setup. So fast moving parts were near the place where the parts were segregated by dealers. So we would be having multiple bins for different set of dealers, for different set of routes. So while taking the part from the fast moving parts, since they are so small, there are chances that parts might be added extra, or wrong part might have been sent.
Okay, I have one small question. Why does SAP ask them to call SAP and not SAP? Whenever I tell somebody it is SAP, they always tell, no, don't tell SAP, it is SAP. So why are they so specific about it?
Even I had the same question and I asked my trainer. It was dumb of me to not search it in the internet. But what answer I received was SAP is something, some word which is not to be used in German.
Okay, except German, you can use it anywhere.
But SAP was developed by German people.
Okay, fine.
SAP uses a special language, right, called ABAP.
Yeah, I know.
Is it still there or they've let
It's
go?
still there.
And one final question, tell me a reason why I should reject you.
So far I wasn't able to clearly formulate a structure which was there in my mind. But I feel like if given another chance, I would be able to work on the structured learning that I will be getting from MBA. I feel like there is a gap which I have to really work on. While doing an MBA will help me.
Giving us reason for why we should select you. He's saying why should we reject you?
I am a curious person, and I think I will be able to add a layer to the class discussions that we will be having at the classroom programs. I think it would be an either way thing. I would be able to gain a lot of knowledge, and I would be able to add several insights.
Super. Lovely, Kishore. That will end the interview. Have some water if you want.
Yeah.
We'll continue with the feedback. Gather your thoughts, spend half a minute, 1 minute, and then we'll go. I'll tell you what the things you did well. You visibly kept your wits with you. Cool. You were smiling, you were in command, your body language is fine, you're standing straight, you're well dressed, you're processing questions didn't fade out, you're articulate, your English is with you throughout. What you had in your experience, what came through well was the SAP parts, your experience in Vietnam. It was a combination of, it was not a tech job, it was a logistics and ops job. You should do more to pitch it like that. You should say, I love my job because it was, I got recruited as a computer science student, as a data analyst who had to work with ERP software. But the best parts of my job were when I had to travel to Vietnam, see the warehouse, see the dealers, speak to people, interact with everybody on the warehouse. So it was hands-on in physical ways. I visited factories, dealers, wholesale distributors, warehouses, customers, clients, everything in a giant stint. I got to experience the entire supply chain, and it was completely different from what I thought a computer science engineer's job would be, and I absolutely loved that. So your pitch has to be to climb onto that part. You're doing very well when you're describing your job and SAP and Ford and the role inside. But I want to see more hand waving, more enthusiasm, more passion, and more super. I had a blast in Vietnam. I thought I was getting into a job which was to do with data and coding and platform and ERP and software, all of that. I got lucky because we were transitioning from Oracle to SAP, but I thought I got lucky because we were transitioning from one software to another. I would learn this software. I got super lucky that I got to see every part of the supply chain. So for 6 months or whatever duration of time that was, I did this. I met with every part of the supply chain. So lots of times people sit and write code based on process diagrams. I saw the process diagram. I saw how material was shipped. I saw factories, warehouses. I spoke with people all the time. So Ford is incredibly particular that people who work in the tech teams have hands-on experience of the real part of the process that they do, which is superb for me. So SAP is not something which is a piece of code. For me, SAP is what makes the real supply chain work with the Ford system, and I got to interact with that. That was an eye-opening experience. It was brilliant. And then you should camp on that. So I did this, camp on the Vietnam part of your experience, your real-world logistics supply chain experience, how SAP makes sense of Ford for Ford, how SAP captures each of this really well. So if you can sit here and click on the dashboard and you'll know how many dealers are low on inventory on a particular product, which is ridiculously good. You give an expert 45 minutes with SAP software on the Ford system, they'll tell you what are the likely problems that can come in the next 3 months, and they can problem solve with just using that thing. And it's not built out of air, it is built because we travel to sites and factories and all of that. So speak with more enthusiasm about job and Southeast Asia and Vietnam, and jump in and speak that. Because it is Ford and because Ford has exited India and all that, you need to read up a little bit more on Ford history and SAP history in India. What have they done? Who do they work with? What is their journey? What is their legacy? The German legacy, what they did. SAP has had a long battle with Oracle. They had a big fight for 2 decades. They were the big 2 in the ERP software market before the other companies came in. So read up on that, but more than SAP, read up on Ford legacy. Why did Ford exit India? Probably the wrong time or the right time. Read up more on that. When it goes towards, when you're talking about elements that you will end up learning in your MBA, you're probably venturing out more than you need to. And you said, I'm interested in marketing and finance. You don't need to. You can say, look, I haven't read enough about this, but I'm drawn towards the idea of marketing. Because when I worked with the Vietnam team, the way they outlined the rationale behind their promo, they said, we're doing this promo, and it seemed like a giveaway. It seemed like they were just giving away money for free for a bunch of dealers. And then they explained this, and it made super sense. Giving away this is a direct way of creating a giant funnel for revenues for the next 2 years. And they explained this, I was stunned. And I was like, look, I want to work in something that involves thinking like that. And I was drawn to that. That I like. But having said that, I've not built products or run marketing campaigns or worked on branding. So what I'm exposed to, I liked it. So I think I want to learn more about that. You have to make sure that you get to say that you're interested in it without getting caught on a giant brand discussion or stock discussion. And to be very careful about it. You're not expected to know these things. Your interview should not be about what are the different aspects that a brand should think into. Different aspects a brand should think into is not something an MBA can answer. An MBA who's worked for 6 years in a marketing company can speak about different aspects of his brand, not general brand. We cannot have a discussion about what does cred stand for. I'm not sure Kunal Shah would have been able to answer the question. And so you should set your stall out to say, look, I'm curious. I was drawn to this, so I want to learn tons more about it. And not say, I'm prima facie interested in marketing. I think I'll do well in it. So to be very careful about how much you are drawn in. You've studied engineering. You're a computer science engineer who worked with an automobile company in logistics. There's no reason for you to know anything about marketing. But once you venture in, we're asking you questions in marketing, which you don't need to know. So you set your stall out to say, look, I'm curious. That one element of that really made me get drawn to it. I'm a product builder. I'm a supply logistics thinker. How do I put the logistics in the real world into the SAP backbone for Ford? That's my job. And in this discussion, when I had with them, the way they said how they had outlined the next quarters based on this promotion was brilliant. My mind was blown, and I was like, look, I somehow need to learn to this. I was totally drawn to it. I know it's a very small element of what all goes into marketing, but because I was drawn so much into it, I want to learn more about it. The idea of looking to sell a product and a thing, that draws me to it. That's all. That way, they say, what are the 4 P's of marketing? You can confidently say, I don't know. And so you thought you didn't know these answers. You were not expected to know these answers. Take your answers towards some other point. Same thing into branding. So you said a lot of your answers were leading us to ask you deeper and deeper questions. Fine. So what is special about cred brand? I worked for 6 years in the finance industry. I don't know how cred makes money. Fine. I don't know. I don't know whether these guys really completely. Now Fred makes money. Cred makes money. I don't know how they make money. I don't understand their long-term plans. How they could give away so much money upfront. Their marketing or their promo. I don't know what cred does. Maybe there are people who know, but I'm just saying it's a very difficult brand to put out there for example of a good brand and then defend. The moment you have said cred is a good brand, Abdiya. So let us talk about this then. So let's talk about this then. The moment you have said, suppose you had said Nike is a good brand. Nice. You're a badminton player. Oh, I love their shoes. They do exactly what they say. Anybody who's won a pair, Nike has this position, but just do it. It has great brand ambassadors. It has wonderful marketing campaign. But tell you what, the greatest thing about Nike is their shoes. They're brilliant. You take any sportsman who's worn a Nike shoe, they'll swear by it. I started playing badminton to lose weight, and I went through 2-3 pairs of shoes. Then I found one Nike pair. It sings and dances for me. It is so light on the feet, super durable, doesn't even get dirty. I don't know if it is all this. And so I'm just saying. So you talk about the brand where the consumer experience is something that you have gone through. So you're not a credit consumer. You've not seen what they do. You don't know what their proposition is, what their positioning is. Go towards Sarana Bhavan. Go towards, if you want to think about an Indian brand, talk about Pothys. And think about it. If you're going to talk about branding, think about it. Think about something where you know tons about that brand, but probably they don't. Usually I'm talking about Chennai brands. So a Nalli or a Pothys or a Sarana Bhavan are wonderful examples for you to talk about. Or Anjapar. I'm talking about food, clothing, footwear, something like that in that market, which is something that you have an intuitive understanding about what the brand makes you feel about. Talk about that. Don't venture into a giant branding discussion on a product that you have not experienced. Right? So on finance also, you like stock market. You said I think all sectors are cyclical. Sectors are cyclical or defensive. There are two types of sectors. Cyclical sectors are ones that naturally have an up and down in their market. Defensives are the ones that are opposite to the buzz. So if everything is going well, defensives will be flat. If everything is going badly, defensives will still be flat. Defensive. They don't react to the cycle. Right? So stuff like education spending, healthcare spending, they're that little bit agnostic to market mood. If you have a health problem, you have to meet a doctor. You can't really say, take a stock market down, I'm not going. Fine. So it's called defensive because of that. Fine. So some sectors are cyclical, some are defensive. You said I look at a target sector that is cyclical, and then I see how the accumulation happens based on volume. You're entering into territory which is very technical. Fine. And so you should set the tone. You should set the tone very early. I got interested in trading, and I said I'll build small portions. I know I'm not dabbling in wealth. I know I'm doing it for curiosity. I read about it. I know it's not the finished article, but I read about it and venture out in amounts that I know that if I lose, the learning experience is still good. So I'm on Sher Khan or Zerodha, and I've been investing and looking at charts and graphs for a long time. I'm fascinated by it, but I don't have a toolkit to analyze companies and sectors. Whatever I hear and I learn, I always have this uncertainty about, is this the real deal? Am I learning it from the right sources? I've not learned it ground up, but I'm drawn to it. That's fine. But set the groundwork. I'm fascinated by it. I started trading. I put small amounts for it. I'm not managing other people's money. I'm not looking to generate wealth. I like it. It's a pastime. I do with amounts of money that I know if it goes, it's okay. But I dabble in it. I want to learn about it. I know that if I put $1,000 and buy 3 shares of a company, I keep looking at it. And I keep looking at it. What are the volumes happening? What is the news flow? How this thing's seemingly reacting? And I'm drawn to it. There's a certain thrill to seeing how my stock performs on a week-on-week basis. And now I'm super curious about understanding how the real big investors take big positions. If I put 1,000 rupees, I start worrying. But guys are building 1% of a stock. And they're doing research and figuring things out. I'm drawn to it, which is why I think I want to learn. I want to have the patience to hang in there and do that. So that's why I'm interested in finance. That's fine. But lay the groundwork for, look, I'm not a pro. I actually think your natural place to go is supply chain and logistics. What will be interested in? Your natural thing should be supply chain and logistics. I'm fascinated by marketing. I have a inkling towards finance. You can say either one of these or both, but you can camp on supply chain and logistics. My entire experience has been in building software for automobile company for governing the supply chain and logistics. How does material flow from one place to another? That's what I've done. I love my job. I love the idea of how tech plays a role in mapping the real world processes onto a bunch of thing that anybody can, a piece of software that anybody can tap into and get real live information. I understand this and I would love to have a career in this. That's natural because then you come back to what you saw in Vietnam and you can go and do marketing as a career. I'm just saying, because you have command over this, you can build your answer around logistics and operations. And you come back to, look, I saw this. The process goes step by step and every step is tracked completely by software, by people and cross-checking, verifying, all of that. And I love that. And so that's nice. On your physical movement, in making eye contact, but figure out ways to make eye contact with all members of the panel. I thought somewhere, not only you thought about it, then you went and you came back, and then when you're in the conversation, you're forgetting it. It'll come with experience, but keep track of it. Over to you, Paul.
Thank you. So, one of your major strengths was about going to Vietnam. But you were not able to explain about the market in Vietnam. That is something you need to know about that. Because what is their buying pattern or how does the market react over there? When I asked about the market about Vietnam, you started explaining about the individual pattern. That is not consumer behavior actually. So you need to do a bit of, all these things again led to the question only because you told inclination towards marketing, branding and all that. That's the reason it in fact, it came.
Correct.
So it shouldn't have come out.
Sorry for interrupting. Because you're saying you like marketing, then you're asking for the question about, so you like marketing, how is the Vietnam market different from India?
Else I wouldn't have asked you that. And similarly, 4 Ps is again, sir actually told about it. You could have at least gone through a bit about that. That is something I want you to know. And you actually told the answer. You should have thought about how do you build the brand of that water bottle instead of what are the elements in it that you want to add up over there. So the selling part, again, when it comes to marketing and selling, if you are giving a word like creative, obviously these kind of things will come up. Because your creativity comes more in the advertising side and in the selling side. So how are you going to come up with that? But at the same time, had you been able to come up with the process to sell and convince to a certain extent, it would have been a very good point for you as well. That would be working for you as well as against you. So we need to be extremely very careful on that part. And
but if you're saying creative and marketing, expect this question.
Yes.
Sell me this pen, sell me that water bottle.
Anything.
Sell me this.
Anything. And when I asked you about the last question, why should I reject you, literally gave me a reason to actually reject you.
Twice you answered, why should we select you? Because by that time, I think the processing interview had gone for such a long time. A part of you was like, let it over. That happens to everybody. That's all right. It's completely natural. Lots of times, you have to understand that interviews are super stressful experiences. So take deep breaths, pause. There's one place where you reacted wonderfully well, where he said, why should we reject you? Starting point was a big smile. So you understood it's a fun question. And I thought, like, nice, you're smiling, you're laughing. You processed it like a fun question, jolly question, which is nice. But then you went into a serious answer, which was, you went into one mode of, why should we select you? Answering for that. So I thought it's very clear. So he's keeping his wits with him. He's saying, he's smiling, laughing. You should say like that. I don't think there is any good reason to reject me. I can't think of any. So I'm really struggling. But maybe I'm over enthusiastic or I sound too keen. Maybe that could be a reason. But that's only because I'm passionate about what I say. In any case, if it does happen that there is some reason that there is to reject me, you'll find me here in 1 year's time. And then say goodbye. And so, there is many thanks for jumping in. It takes a ton of courage to say, look, let me do a mock interview. It's a tough, stressful experience. We are having the easy part of this. When we are sitting there, we are sitting on the other side of the panel. I have sat on the other side. It's incredibly stressful. I had a kind of record in my campus in IIM Bangalore. I messed up the maximum number of interviews before I got a job. I had odd interviews from day 0, day 1, slot 1, slot 2, and got placed in slot 3. So I had interviewed with every company before that. So by the time I got the job, I was answering questions from memory. I was gone because I'd been interviewing for 18 hours straight without a job in hand. And so I understand it's super stressful. And sometimes I tell my guys, I'm the last guy who should be giving interviewing Gyan. Utter failure I am. And so after that, I think I became an entrepreneur. I never wanted to interview again. So, but I'm just telling you that it's a super stressful process. Keep that in mind. So you have to accept that it's stressful, which also means that typically panels are very considerate. Very nice. They want to put you under pressure to see how you react, but they're not out to get you. There's every chance that you're fretting about how crazy they will go after you, and they're being very nice. And so go in thinking they're going to be nice. Better off than worrying about what they're saying. Always go into a panel saying, I'm going to go have a good conversation. There's a decent chance they'll like me. I'll have some fun. If you big them up, they will corner me with this. There is more stress. More pressure. All the best. You have some questions? Fire away.
No, sir. This was a real eye-opener experience for me. At one point, I was questioning myself. While you were questioning me, I was questioning myself. Why did I lead them into this? Why did I even use credit in the first place? It was something else.
So it happens. Sometimes walking that back is also an art. I have no idea why I said cred. Can I change my answer? That is fine.
Okay.
I think I just froze and I said cred. I have no idea why I said cred. Can I revisit my answer? They'll be like, chalo, I'll give you half a more minute. Go for it. That's fine. It's a super tough thing to say. Because you've walked into it, you've taken 2 steps inside. But it's all right. It's a skill set, extremely powerful skill set to be able to say that. Gone. First line start. Can I start all over again? It's what you're asking them for that answer. Mostly they'll say yes. In which case you're fine. It's a tough thing to process and say in that moment. But if you're thinking that, blurt it out and pick up the pieces and go again. Even that is fine. Everybody understands that lots of times our brain is thinking something and our tongue is saying something in life, particularly in interviews. And they understand that. So they understand that. So don't worry about it. That's a big skill set. To say, I have no idea why I said correct. Can I change it and restart? That's fine.
Even the question sir was asking, I was baffled. Why did I lead into this?
So you didn't. You like marketing, but when he said, give me the 4 P's, and he said, look, tell that to me in order. I was thinking, in order, nothing. So I was worried about the order and what he was expecting and all that. So I was trying to write down what are the 4 P's. So it's an incredibly tough question for somebody who's not studied marketing. You have not studied marketing. So you say, look, so your first answer should be, I'm drawn to that from a couple of experiences. So I like it, but I don't know how vast it is and what kind of an ocean it is. I'm sure it is large. Because I'm drawn to it, I want to learn more about it. So your pitch should be, I want to learn more about it. Not marketing, here I come. And so make sure that your communication is tailored like that.
So last year I didn't prepare seriously, that Vietnam assignment came, so I didn't prepare last year. I just wrote that just like that, and I got an interview from IIM-B. The same question was asked. That time I did formulate something. There is something called as VR order, that is emergency orders, vehicle on road orders. So for those orders we do lay heavy penalties. So India had relatively high number of VR orders compared to the total number of orders that I thought I used this answer that time and it was clear. When you were asking me, I was completely blank.
It can happen. Don't worry about it. Sometimes it happens, but when you practice and do a few mocks and get there, then the chances of something randomly being blurted out, they also fall. So prepare extensively. That is super helpful. Tell your answers in front of a mirror. Hear them. Have somebody who will call out your bullshit and answer to them. And sometimes grandmothers and grandfathers are good. And you change your answer. So sometimes it is helpful if you have that and you speak your answer out. Speaking your answer out is a very powerful way, as like a bullshit filter. What does it mean? So lots of times when you are saying answers, I will be like, okay, so what does it mean? So credit is a brilliant brand. Why is it a brilliant brand? No, they have a wonderful way of presenting. So what do they have? So I'm continuously I was just saying, okay, what is it? So it's a way of I'm just digging to get to the crux of what you have to say. That they will do relentlessly. So you have to have a jargon filter. You would say some word because you've heard it and you've thrown it, but you've not understood exactly what that means. Then we'll okay, so what does it mean? So you have to go down and say what is the meaning and say only that. Don't use all the supporting words. Whatever you understand directly, talk about that. And go there. Super, all the best. Good to have you on board.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.